Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Sushant Dhaka. The top stories first. Government eases lockdown measures, allows limited mobility within the districts. Peaceful protest takes the capital by storm. Youths demand transparency from the government. Supreme Court orders government not to collect tax immediately, gives 30 days time for revenue collection. Trump authorizes sanctions over ICC employees, accuses Russia of manipulation in Afghanistan war crimes case. And Spanish football kicks off after 3 months hiatus. Sevilla beat Real Betis in the opener. And now the news in detail. The government has decided to allow private vehicles to operate on odd-even system. A cabinet meeting on Wednesday took a decision to this effect, informed government spokesperson Dr. Yubaraj Khatiora during a regular press meet yesterday. According to Finance Minister Khatiora, the government has decided to allow two-wheelers to operate on odd-even system with single rider, while four-wheelers would be allowed to carry 2 more persons besides the driver. The private vehicles will be allowed to run within their respective districts only.
स्वास्थ्यसँग सम्बन्धित सबै सेवा जसमा निजी क्लिनिकहरू समेत पर्छन् त्यसैगरी सबै प्रकारका कृषि र पशुपक्षी व्यवसाय उत्पादनदेखि बिक्री वितरणसम्मको सबै श्रृङ्खला खुला गरिएको छ.
The government has also decided to allow people to travel by foot, provided that they meet the required standards to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Likewise, the cabinet meeting also decided to resume all kinds of health services, agriculture and livestock businesses, production and distribution of goods, among others.
उपत्यका भित्र र अन्य जिल्लाको हकमा सम्बन्धित जिल्ला भित्र मात्र जोर बिजोर प्रणालीमा सञ्चालन हुने गरी निजी सवारी साधनहरू चलाउन दिएको छ.
The Council of Ministers also decided to reopen government and non-government offices in 2 shifts with immediate effect. However, this rule will come into effect only from June 15th for banks and financial institutes, insurance companies, as well as government offices and NGOs. This new system will be applicable for 3 weeks.
देहायका सेवा र कार्यहरू हाललाई सञ्चालन नगर्ने शैक्षिक संस्थाहरू जसभित्र विद्यालय, कलेज, ट्युसन सेन्टर, तालिम केन्द्र पर्छन् लगायतका कुराहरू अनुमति प्राप्त बाहेकका अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय र आन्तरिक उडानहरू.
The government has decided not to reopen educational institutes for the time being. The ban on international flights will remain in place except for some special cases. Meanwhile, all border entry points will remain sealed except for the ones designated for cross-border movements. Health authorities yesterday confirmed 250 new cases of coronavirus in the country. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the total number of coronavirus cases in Nepal has surged to 4,614. Spokesperson at the ministry, Dr. Jageshwar Gautam, informed that 230 of the newly infected patients are male, while 20 are female. He further informed that 48 of those cases were reported in Dailik, 42 in Rautahar, 29 in Rupandehi, 18 in Bajura, 14 in Rolpa, 13 in Bake, 9 in Saptari, 8 in Dang, 7 each in Bara, Dhading, Koilali and Surkhet. Similarly, 6 new cases were reported in Nawalparasi, 4 each in Sarlai, Mahotari and Putan, followed by 3 cases each in Sunsari and Jhapa, while Bajang reported 2 cases and Kapilbastu confirmed 1 new case. Majority of the infected are males.
क्रमित 250 जना हुनुहुन्छ. त्यसमध्ये 230 जना पुरुष र 20 जना महिला हुनुहुन्छ. र जम्मा सङ्क्रमितहरूको सङ्ख्या 4,614, त्यसमध्ये 4,285 पुरुष र 329 जना महिला हुनुहुन्छ। आज डिस्चार्ज हुनुहुनेहरूको जम्मा सङ्ख्या 187 जना, त्यसमध्ये 8 महिला र 179 पुरुष हुनुहुन्छ।
Meanwhile, the number of people killed by coronavirus has reached 15 in the country. So far, 861 persons have recovered from the disease, according to the ministry. Currently, 3,738 persons are undergoing treatment in isolation wards across the country, while the number of persons in quarantine stands at 162,013. A group of people gathered spontaneously at Balwatar yesterday to organize a peaceful protest against the government. The youths expressed dissatisfaction towards the way the government has been functioning. They staged protest at Balwatar and Tangal areas, holding placards against corruption and demanding more PCR tests. The protesters demanded the details of the government expenditure on measures taken to prevent coronavirus. They also accused the government of not doing enough in its fight against the pandemic. Another major issue raised by the demonstrators was the tax collection at a time of such crisis. Police had to fire tear gas shells to disperse the crowd. Meanwhile, youths in Pokhara also held protests against the government yesterday. The independent youths organized a silent protest at Sahid Chowk of Pokhara to draw the attention of the government to some pressing issues in its fight against coronavirus. They demanded an immediate halt to RDT tests, questioned the rationale behind collecting tax during such crisis, and proper management of quarantine facilities. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. Industrialists and entrepreneurs have welcomed the government's decision to change the modality of the lockdown to help run businesses. The government had imposed a lockdown on all businesses across the country on March 24th to prevent the coronavirus from spreading in the country. The latest decision to allow the smooth operation of all businesses by the government has been widely praised by the business community. The government's decision to loosen the grip on coronavirus has also been appreciated by the general public as it allows a return of normalcy in phase-wise manner. The industrialists have, however, urged the government to create awareness programs to make sure people always adhere to the physical distancing rule. These entrepreneurs have also asked for government's package on moderation of banks' interest rate, easily accessible loans and other financial support. The entrepreneurs are also hopeful of the upcoming monetary policy of the Nepal Rashtra Bank to address their problems.
अझ हामी आशावादी छौं कि अझ हामी विश्वस्त छौं कि कतिमा के छुट पनि हुनेछ भन्ने त्यो प्याकेज पनि आउनेछ भन्ने हामीले विश्वास लिएका छौं र अब हाम्रो ब्याजको भयो पुनः कर्जा भयो अन्यमा जे हाम्रो राष्ट्र बैंकले गर्नुपर्ने यो सबै बैंकिङ च्यानलहरुको हामीलाई छुटदेखि अर्को समयदेखि पुनः कर्जादेखि यो मौद्रिक नीतिमा अवश्य हामीले यसरी नै स्वागत गर्न पाओस्.
The industrialists have also advised the government to segregate the red zone, yellow zone and green zone based on the number of infection in each region and allow the smooth operation of businesses accordingly.
इकोनोमिकलाई एउटा चाहिँ जोनहरु बनाएर हुन्छ कि रेड जोन, ग्रीन जोन हैन, येलो जोन या ऑरेंज जोन जस्तो बनाएर जहाँ जहाँ कम चाहिँ समस्याहरु छन् हैन त्यहाँ चाहिँ खुकुलो नगरिकन हामी कहाँ सुख छैन भनेछ पनि के सुनिया छ भने तीनटा चरणमा गर्ने, एक पहिलो र दोस्रो तेस्रो. अब त्यसमा चाहिँ अब चाहिँ जोर बिजोरको कुरा, पसलहरु खोल्ने जुन कुरा आइरा छ नि, एउटा समय सान्दर्भिक हो र सकारात्मक. नेपाल उद्योग परिसंघले त यसलाई धेरै सकारात्मक रूपमा लिएको छ.
The industrialists have said that they are hopeful of opening all businesses within a week of lifting of the lockdown. They have also said that the Health Ministry will be working with the directives of the World Health Organization to create protocols that have to be followed by everyone as the lockdown is lifted. They have also urged that the government's attention should now be focused on opening transportation, hotels and internal flights as soon as possible. The government has brought home some Nepali women stranded in Kuwait. Minister for Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, Yogesh Bhattrai, informed that the government decided to airlift all stranded Nepali nationals. On Thursday morning at 11 a.m., 161 Nepalese with 3 pregnant women arrived in Kathmandu. All new arrivals have been sent to holding centers in coordination with the Nepal Army. The Tribhuvan International Airport has also confirmed that a further 150 Nepali women also arrived from Kuwait's Jazeera Airlines aircraft at 1 in the afternoon yesterday. All the new arrivals are currently kept in 8 different holding centers. They will be sent to their respective provincial and local level quarantine facilities or kept in home quarantine. Previously, 26 Nepali nationals from Myanmar and 168 from Dubai have already arrived in Kathmandu. The government has demanded that those who want to return back to Nepal must present a valid report of RDT and PCR tests that proves that they are coronavirus negative. And now the news from the economic front. The Supreme Court has issued an interim order to facilitate the payment of taxes within 30 days after the lifting of the lockdown. A division bench of Justices Anil Kumar Sinha and Manoj Kumar Sharma issued the interim order to the government to make arrangements for everyone to be able to pay taxes within 30 days of the opening of the lockdown. The interim order has also asked the government to scrap the decision of the Inland Revenue Department to collect taxes by 21st June. Similarly, the interim order also talks about the government's responsibility towards its citizens during these difficult times. The order further demands the government that it help ease the burden of the taxpayers by announcing subsidies. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. U.S. President Donald Trump yesterday issued an executive order authorizing U.S. sanctions against International Criminal Court employees, Reuters reported. According to the news agency, those employees were involved in an investigation into whether American forces committed war crimes in Afghanistan. In announcing the action, Trump administration said the Hague-based tribunal threatens to infringe upon U.S. national sovereignty and accused Russia of manipulating it to serve Moscow's ends. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo reportedly said that they cannot and would not stand by as their people get threatened by a kangaroo court. Trump's order authorizes blocking assets in the United States of ICC employees involved in the probe. Rights activists denounced Trump's move. Andrea Parzau, the Washington director for Human Rights Watch, said the action demonstrates contempt for global rule of law and represents a blatant attempt at obstruction. South Korean doctors have found underlying conditions that may make some COVID-19 patients more severely affected by the disease. According to Reuters, a professor at Yungam University Medical Center made such revelation on Wednesday. The finding could help doctors identify and prioritize high-risk patients at an early stage of the respiratory disease caused by the novel coronavirus, Ang Jun Hong, professor of the internal medicine, told Reuters. Medical experts and epidemiologists are investigating risk factors for patients who develop severe cases of the disease, which has killed more than 400,000 globally since it first emerged late last year in China. In a paper published by the Journal of Korean Medical Sciences on June 2nd, South Korean doctors wrote that diabetes, high body temperature, low oxygen saturation, and pre-existing cardiac injury were shown to be the prognostic factors for severe COVID-19. The team of doctors observed 110 coronavirus patients at a hospital in Daegu, the epicenter of South Korean outbreak, from February 19 to April 15th. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Sevilla beat Real Betis in the Sevilla derby as La Liga made its much-awaited return to action after a 3-month hiatus. Groups of fans ignored guidance as they gathered outside the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium before the game, as some teething problems off the pitch were seen. However, on the pitch, Lucas Ocampos opened the scoring for Sevilla through a penalty in the 56th minute as Fernando sealed their win through a goal on 62nd minute mark. After a minute's silence in memory of those who have died during the pandemic, La Liga returned with some new additions. As previously heard in Germany, there were artificial crowd noise created by the TV broadcasters, while the vast empty stands were painted in virtual support in what was sold beforehand as images of fans wearing club colors. Leaders Barcelona are in action for the first time on Saturday, while Real Madrid play on Sunday. La Liga is the second of Europe's 5 big leagues to resume, with Premier League following suit next week. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Government eases lockdown measures, allows limited mobility within the districts. Peaceful protest takes the capital by storm. Youths demand transparency from the government. Supreme Court orders government not to collect tax immediately, gives 30 days time for revenue collection. Trump authorizes sanctions over ICC employees, accuses Russia of manipulation in Afghanistan war crimes case. And Spanish football kicks off after 3 months hiatus. Sevilla beat Real Betis in the opener. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website JanataSamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to follow government directives of the lockdown and follow healthy hygienic practices to keep safe from any infection. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.